You have been feeling it for months now. A strange, heavy silence that follows you into every room. You walk into a space where people are laughing, talking about the mundane, chasing the trivial, and suddenly, the air shifts. You feel like an intruder in a world you used to call home. You look at the faces of your friends, your family, your colleagues, and for the first time, you don't see them. You see through them. You see the masks. You see the scripts they are reading from. And most importantly, you see that they can no longer see you. This isn't just a phase. This isn't just a bout of seasonal depression or a temporary social battery drainage. This is the beginning of your total transformation. You are becoming someone others can no longer understand, and it is terrifying because it is lonely. You find yourself sitting at dinner tables, surrounded by people who claim to love you, yet you feel like a ghost. You speak, and your words seem to fall into a void. You share your heart, and they respond with a blank stare or a quick change of the subject. It's as if you are speaking a frequency that their internal receivers simply cannot pick up anymore. Lately, your body has been giving you signs that the old version of you is dying. Have you noticed the sudden, sharp headaches that come out of nowhere when you're around certain people? Have you noticed the ringing in your ears that sounds like a high-pitched dial-up to a world you haven't visited yet? Your physical vessel is struggling to contain the sheer volume of light and truth you are now carrying. You feel a strange pressure in your chest. Not a pain, but an expansion. Like your soul is outgrowing your rib cage. You find yourself needing more solitude than ever before. If you spend more than an hour in a crowded mall or a noisy office, you feel a bone-deep exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. It's a spiritual fatigue. You are being drained because you are trying to fit an ocean into... You are trying to act normal when there is nothing normal left about you. Think about the way they look at you now. There's a flicker of confusion in their eyes, isn't there? A slight tilt of the head. They sense that the person they used to manipulate, the person they used to predict, the person they used to know, is gone. They ask you if you're okay. They tell you that you've changed. They say it like it's a bad thing. They say it with a hint of accusation, as if you've betrayed them by evolving. You find yourself apologizing for your silence. You find yourself making excuses for why you don't want to go out, why you don't want to engage in the gossip, why the things that used to matter to you now feel like ash in your mouth. You are experiencing the great disconnect. It's the moment the umbilical cord to the matrix is finally severed. You are no longer feeding on the same drama they feed on. You are no longer fueled by the same validation they crave. Because of this, you have become a blank map to them. They can't chart your moves. They can't trigger your reactions. When they throw a jab, it misses. When they try to guilt trip you, the guilt doesn't stick. This makes them uncomfortable. Your presence has become a mirror, and most people cannot stand what they see when they look at someone as clear as you are becoming. You wake up at 3:00 am, 4:00 am, with your heart racing, not out of fear, but out of readiness. You feel like you're waiting for a train that hasn't arrived yet. You're scanning the horizon for a home you've never visited. This isolation you feel, it is divine protection. The universe is pulling you back, tucking you away in a secret place, because where you are going, they cannot follow. You are becoming a mystery to the world so that you can finally become a revelation to yourself. You are becoming someone others can't understand because you are finally starting to understand who you truly are. This disconnect you are feeling is not a mistake. It is not a glitch in your mental health, and it is certainly not a sign that you are losing your mind. In fact, for the first time in your life, you are finally gaining it. The reason they cannot understand you is simple. You have shifted your spiritual residence. You are no longer living in the same dimension of consciousness that they inhabit. You are standing in the same room, breathing the same oxygen, but your spirit is vibrating at a frequency that is literally invisible to the unawakened eye. The spiritual cause of this profound isolation is a divine recalibration. You see, for years, you functioned as a bridge. You were the one who translated the light for those in the dark. You were the one who absorbed their trauma, who softened your edges so they wouldn't feel the sting of their own shadows. But the universe has declared that your season of being a bridge is over. Bridges are meant to be walked on, and you are no longer a path for others to trample. You are being reconstructed into a temple. And a temple is not a public thoroughfare. It is a sacred space that requires an initiation to enter. You are vibrating too high for the matrix software to recognize your data. Think of it like a radio. Most of the world is tuned into the AM station of fear, lack, gossip, and survival. You, however, have been forcibly tuned into a frequency of sovereign truth. When they try to talk to you about the latest celebrity scandal or the petty drama in the neighborhood, it sounds static to you. And when you try to talk to them about the soul, about the shift in human consciousness, or the deep peace you feel in the silence, it sounds static to them. The understanding gap is actually a safety mechanism. If they could understand you, they could influence you. If they could perceive your next move, they could block it. Your unreadability is your greatest spiritual armor. There is a divine law at work here, the law of vibrational displacement. As you increase your light quotient, anything that cannot match that light must be displaced. This includes old friends, toxic family members, and even parts of your own personality that were built on people-pleasing. You didn't lose these people. They were vibrationally evicted from your reality because their presence was literally lowering your voltage. You are being prepared for a massive assignment, and you cannot carry the baggage of the understood into the realm of the extraordinary. You have broken a fundamental rule of the collective ego. You stopped needing them. This is why the confusion is so thick. Most people base their entire identity on how they are perceived by others. They are a collection of mirrors. But you have smashed the mirrors. You are looking inward for your North Star, and this makes you a rogue element in their system. The spiritual realm is currently stripping you of your social camouflage. You used to be able to blend in. You used to be able to fake the small talk and pretend to care about the trivialities of the world. But that mask has been melted off by the heat of your own awakening. You are now a frequency anchor. Your job is no longer to explain yourself. It is simply to be. The reason you feel so heavy, so exhausted, and so isolated is that you are doing the heavy lifting of anchoring a new reality onto a planet that is fighting to stay asleep. You are the pioneer who has crossed the mountain, and now you're looking back at the people in the valley. They are shouting at you to come back down because they can't see what you see from the peak. They think you're lost because you're no longer in the valley with them. But you aren't lost. You are the only one who is truly found. You are becoming a mystery to them because you are becoming a masterpiece of the divine. And a masterpiece is never understood by those who only appreciate cheap prints. Watch closely how they react now that they can no longer find the old you. Have you noticed the subtle hostility? The way a simple conversation now feels like a chess match? The matrix, the collective ego of the world around you, is beginning to malfunction in your presence. When you walk into a room, the narcissists, the energy vampires, and the broken souls who used to feed off your light are suddenly agitated. They don't know why, but your very existence has become a thorn in their side. You aren't doing anything wrong. You aren't picking fights or casting judgment. You are simply standing in your truth. And to a person living a lie, the truth feels like an assault. They are scared of you. Let that sink in. The people who used to belittle you, the family members who called you the black sheep, the difficult one, or the sensitive one, they are now terrified of the silence you carry. In the past, they could control you through your emotions. They knew exactly which buttons to push to make you cry, to make you apologize, or to make you work twice as hard to prove your worth. But those buttons have been deactivated. When they try to pull the old strings, nothing happens. You just look at them with those clear, discerning eyes, and they see that their power over you has evaporated. This is why they are labeling you as cold or arrogant. This is why they are whispering behind your back that you've changed or that you're acting superior. It is a defense mechanism. The system of the world, the matrix, relies on everyone being predictable and codependent. Because you have become unpredictable, you have become a threat to the status quo. You are a glitch that they cannot fix. They are trying to shame you back into your old, smaller shape. They want the version of you that was easy to digest, the version that was a people pleaser, the version that was perpetually confused and seeking their approval. But that version is dead, and they are mourning the loss of their favorite target. Notice the smear campaigns that begin when you start to ascend. Suddenly, people you haven't spoken to in months are checking in on you, not out of love, but out of a desperate need to find a crack in your armor. They want to see you fail. They want to see you fall back into line. They are waiting for you to get lonely enough to crawl back to the toxic table. But they don't understand the chosen one's superpower. Solitude is our sanctuary, not our prison. While they are terrified of being alone with their own thoughts, you are thriving in the stillness. You are building an internal kingdom that they can't even dream of. And that scares them more than anything. The narcissists in your life are sensing your apex frequency. They can feel that you are no longer a victim. You are a victor who hasn't even begun to show your full strength. They see you looking at them not with anger, but with a terrifyingly calm pity. You see their games. You see the loops they are stuck in. You see the demons they are wrestling with. And because you see them so clearly, they feel naked in your presence. Your light is acting like a spiritual spotlight, exposing every shadow, every lie, and every manipulation they've spent a lifetime perfecting. They will try to hoover you back in. They will send the flying doorbells and the fake apologies. They will try to trigger your old empathy. But you must realize that their reaction is the greatest confirmation of your progress. If the world still understood you, you would still be a part of it. If the narcissists were still comfortable around you, you would still be under their thumb. The fact that you are now the villain in their story is proof that you have finally become the hero in your own. you have moved beyond their reach. You are vibrating at a level where their weapons can no longer find a target. You aren't just becoming someone they can't understand. You are becoming someone they can no longer touch. The truth that anchors this entire experience is far more ancient than your current lifetime. You are not just a person going through a rough patch or a midlife identity crisis. You are a living fulfillment of a divine prophecy. In every age of darkness, the universe seeds the earth with frequency holders, individuals whose sole purpose is to disrupt the existing density and pull the collective consciousness into a higher octave. You are that seed. This is why the laws of the average man do not apply to you. This is why the common sense of the world feels like nonsense to your soul. You are operating under a different set of celestial mandates. The reason you feel like you are being stripped bare is that the divine is removing the garments of the matrix from your spirit. You were born into a world of labels, expectations, and generational curses. You were told who to be, how to act, and what to value. But the universe's plan for your life is so massive that it requires the complete demolition of your old identity. There is a specific spiritual law called the law of divine selection. It states that before a vessel can be filled with new wine, it must be completely emptied of the old. Every friend who walked away, every door that slammed shut, and every moment of biting loneliness was a deliberate act of clearing the deck. You are being recoded at a cellular level. The reason you can no longer relate to the trivialities of modern life is that your spiritual DNA is being activated. You are being tuned to the frequency of the fifth dimension, a state of being governed by unity, truth, and sovereignty. The people around you are still living in the third dimension, a state governed by duality, fear, and survival. It is mathematically impossible for a 3D consciousness to fully grasp a 5D being. To them, your peace looks like indifference. Your boundaries look like cruelty. Your silence looks like judgment. But in the eyes of the divine, your peace is power, your boundaries are sacred, and your silence is a symphony of alignment. Consider the 1,000-year prophecy of your lineage. You are likely the first one in your bloodline to say no to the cycle of trauma. You are the first one to look at the ancestral patterns of narcissism, addiction, and lack, and declare that they stop with you. This makes you a system buster. You have stepped out of the collective dream and awakened into the real. Because you are no longer contributing your energy to the collective nightmare, the nightmare is trying to pull you back in, but it cannot. You have been sealed. You have been marked by the divine as a consecrated one. God's plan for you is not to fit in, but to stand out as a beacon. Imagine a lighthouse trying to fit in with the rowboats. It's impossible. The lighthouse is stationary, tall, and solitary. Its only job is to shine its light so that those lost at sea can find their way, or at least avoid the rocks. You are that lighthouse. You don't need to row with them. You don't need to shout at them. You just need to stay lit. The universe is not punishing you with isolation. It is protecting your frequency from contamination while you reach your full brightness. The deep truth is this: the more you are misunderstood by the world, the more you are recognized by the heavens. Every time you choose your integrity over their approval, a bell rings in the higher realms. You are being watched, guarded, and celebrated by an unseen host of witnesses who know exactly who you are. They see the warrior behind the tired eyes. They see the ancient soul behind the modern face. You are becoming a mystery to the world because you are finally being revealed as a child of the Most High. The prophecy of your life is not one of struggle, but of absolute, undisputed victory over the shadows. Now that the truth has been spoken, it must be sealed within your spirit. You cannot go back to the person you were before this message reached your ears. The bridge has been burned, and the only way is forward, deeper into the beautiful mystery of your own soul. The practical path ahead of you is not one of struggle, but of radical acceptance. Stop trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Every time you try to justify your boundaries or defend your change, you are leaking precious energy back into the matrix. You are giving pearls to those who only know how to trample them. From this moment on, your silence is your sanctuary. When they look at you with confusion, let them. When they whisper that you've changed, smile and know that they are right. You have not just changed, you have ascended. To maintain this frequency, you must practice spiritual grounding every single day. Walk on the earth with bare feet and feel the stability of the planet beneath you. Remind yourself that you are a cosmic being having a dense experience, and the density cannot hold you forever. When the world feels too loud, or the great disconnect feels too heavy, retreat into the stillness. The silence is where your power is recharged. The loneliness you feel is actually the presence of the divine, waiting for you to stop looking for company so that he can be your everything. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe in the frequency of your new self. Feel the weight of the expectations you've carried for others falling off your shoulders like old, tattered rags. You are standing in the center of a brilliant, violet flame that consumes everything that is not your highest truth. No weapon formed against your reputation shall prosper. No manipulation intended to pull you back into the dark shall find a grip. You are hidden in the secret place of the Most High, and your light is now a permanent fixture in this world. Repeat these words in the quiet of your heart. I am no longer a servant to the opinions of the sleeping. I release the need to be understood by those who are not ready to see. I am a sovereign being of light, a chosen one of the divine, and I claim my space in this new reality. I forgive those who cannot perceive me, and I bless the distance between us. I am becoming exactly who I was meant to be, and I am safe in my transformation. The shift is complete. The seal is set. You are now moving with the momentum of the universe itself. Do not look back at the valley you have left behind. Keep your eyes on the horizon, for there are others like you, other lighthouses, other frequency anchors, who are also waking up and shining their light into the void. You are not alone. You are simply part of an elite vanguard. You are the black sheep who became the shepherd. You are the outcast who became the oracle. If this message resonated with your soul, if you felt the shift in your chest as these words were spoken, then you are exactly where you need to be. Type "I am becoming" in the comments to anchor this activation into the physical realm. Claim your sovereignty. Claim your mystery. And remember, the world doesn't need to understand you to be changed by you. Your presence is the protest. Your peace is the revolution. Go forth in power, chosen one. The shadows have no choice but to flee from the light you carry.